Hello and welcome to another one of Charlie's hikes. I'm about to go out on the Maah Daah Hey Trail. I'm currently sitting in the Rough Riders Hotel in Medora, North Dakota, and heading out tomorrow thanks to Dakota Cyclery. And I got here today thanks to Mike from Taxi Cruisers. More about them on the first video of this northern half of the Maah Daah Hey Trail hike. What I wanted to do today is just go through my gear a little bit, give you an idea. I learned a lot from the first round from doing the southern half of the trail last year, and wanted to give you an idea of what I'm bringing on the north half. So I'll start with what I have on. I've got these Ultra Temp 5s. They've had a good long season. They're pretty beat up, but they've still got some life left in them, and should work out really well here. Got some darn tough socks as well that are going to be kind of my over socks. I just wore them to fly today, but I have Injinji liners, and I've got a couple sets of these that I'll have out there that I will be alternating on the trail. I'm going to be out there for 4 nights and hiking for 4 days. The last day I'm just hiking a mile to get to a highway to get my pickup. I have some stuff over here that is just staying out for now. Got my trekking poles, these L5s from Gossamer Gear. They're fantastic. I broke one this year and had to replace the pair. It was unfortunate, but I have a spare now at home. I have a mouth guard that I use at night, so I've got that out because I'm sleeping here in the hotel tonight. My cutoff toothbrush and, of course, the rest of my toiletries. Got these out for tonight as well. Got some Ultra gaiters, ankle gaiters that are helpful on a trail like this, keeping dirt out of my socks and out of my shoes. Got my sun gloves. Sun exposure, I think it's UV index 3 to 4 right now, so it's pretty low, but nonetheless I bring these along. These pretty much are standard for me, and my hat, which I'll use with this sun hoodie, and my shorts, of course. Kind of going blue on this trail this time of year in October, and the reason for that is I think it's bow hunting season. I saw some hunters out last time I was out here, which was the same time last year, and want to be as visible as possible in the Badlands. I have an orange shirt. I thought that might blend in too well, actually. So still have an orange hat, but I wanted to be pretty bright blue. Tomorrow on the way to the trail, I'm gonna get a ride. I'm gonna use my puffy jacket. So I've got my puffy. I have a lot of layers of warm for this hike. I have extra gear for this hike than I normally carry. I'm carrying a little over a 15-pound base weight. I normally like to be down 11, 12, somewhere around there in the summertime, but because the weather is shifting this time of year, it is going to get down into the, looks like mid-20s by the end of my hike, and possible snow showers at one point, and high winds, so wind chill is going to be way down there, so I wanted to be really cautious about that. But yeah, the puffy, good piece of gear. I'm definitely going to be using it a fair amount in the early mornings, evenings, and tomorrow to get to the trail. Just a glasses case, some earplugs, microfiber cloth as well in there. And then over here I've got my pack loaded up. I've got on the outside here my Sawyer filter and a CNOC 2-liter bag. I also have a couple of smart water bottles. Right now I'm carrying a couple of liters going to the trail. So this one's got electrolytes in it, this one's empty, but there'll be times out there where everything's full, and I may even fill up the CNOC if I have to do a really long water carry. I've got water stationed out there, thanks to Jen from Dakota Cyclery for putting that out there. I paid her a fee to do that, and she's, like I mentioned, giving me a ride tomorrow as well to the trail. But that should help. My only thing I want to be careful about is if somebody had an emergency out there and took the water, if they're, I'm going to try to hedge that a little bit. I'm going to try to carry a little bit extra just in case my water's not there. But if it's there, I'll be in great shape, and yeah, it should go really well. This is my sunglasses case. I bring my glasses, particularly on this trail, because it is kind of gritty and sandy and very dry out here, and my contacts don't like that situation when I'm trying to take them in and out of my eyes. After a few days, it gets really nasty. So there's that. And over here, I've got my wallet for hiking, is what I call it. It's just a Ziploc bag with a bunch of my money and whatnot in it. I have some ND filters for my camera. got an extra camera battery and some extra SD cards. So that's what I like to keep over here in this right pocket of my pack. So right hip pocket, left hip pocket. Moving up the pack a little bit on the right side here, or sorry, this is on the left side, left shoulder pocket. I've got my Garmin InReach Mini, key piece of device for me. In fact, I used it to do some messaging. I message a lot, actually, with my wife on that, but used it to do some messaging as well to help get off the trail last time. Hopefully that won't be the case this time. I stopped at about mile 72, so I'm exactly about halfway. I've got a bandana here, which I will use for a variety of things. Cleaning my cold soaking pot, like drying it out. There's a river ford. I don't know if my feet will need to get wet, but if they do, I'm gonna probably go barefoot and then use this to wipe my feet off before I put my socks back on. Of course, got my Pixel 7 phone here and my over-ear headphones. Gonna do some more charging of things this evening because I was using some of these things when I flew today. But that's essentially what I have in the front of the pack. My camera goes up here. It just sits in the top, so you'll see that on the videos. Go into the front pocket on the back of the pack. What I have, I'm just gonna pull some of this stuff out. I'll pull it all out, show you at least. My cold soaking jar, it's essentially just a BPA free jar that I got from Amazon. In fact, I got like 4 of them. And what I do for the next day's hiking is I have some powder things that I bring along, like this is Kachava. It's I'm using it as a recovery drink out here. I've got some peanut butter that I'll rehydrate. I have a little bit of chocolate to go with it. And then of course I've got some camp suds to wash this thing. I just like put some water in it, shake it like crazy. And that helps a lot, and then I rinse it maybe one more time. I also have a spoon that's cut off that's in here. So that's what's in my cold soaking jar. I have my dinner for tomorrow night ready to go, so I can cold soak that anywhere along the trail if I want to, but it's also just handy. I get a little freaked out about putting stuff like that in my bottom pocket because if for some reason it does come apart, it could be a big, big problem, a big mess, and no dinner for me. Plus my pack would smell like food. Tent stakes, I have 10 of them for my Flex Solo tent from Z-Packs. There are a variety of stakes in there. They're all fairly lightweight. I think they weigh 2 ounces. By the way, I have a LighterPack gear list that is linked at the bottom of this video, so you can check that out and you can go through there, look at all my stuff, exactly what it weighs, and even click on the links to check out where you might be able to pick that stuff up. Toilet paper, trowel, all the usual toiletries. Stuff in that bag, so ready for using the outdoors in that way, in a appropriate way. I call this my 10 essentials bag. This is like all the stuff besides extra food and water and clothing that I carry. So I've got first aid stuff in here. I have a tick key, which is this little thing that you can pull ticks off of yourself with pretty easily, particularly here on the Maah Daah Hey Trail, just because it's grasslands, and I had a couple of ticks last year, so good thing. I've got some Leuko tape, which for me has been a critical thing in the past. I'm hoping my feet do pretty well this time. Got a Swiss Army knife, a pen, fire starter, some ibuprofen, just a variety of things in here. So it's kind of heavy, it weighs 9 ounces. I was surprised when I weighed it, but I may pare it down in the future, but that's essentially what I keep in my front pocket. So with that, I'm gonna go into the pack, show you what's in the rest of this thing. So I usually roll my clothes up, put them right at the top, so they're pretty handy if I need to get to them during the day. And got a pair of gloves. These are nice warm gloves from REI. I really like them. They're shown in the LighterPack list, so I don't remember what they're called. I've got a beanie as well. Got this in like a raffle, so I don't even know where it's from. I think it's REI, but I love this thing because it pulls down over my eyes, and at night I can block the light out. I don't even know what time it is at that point. And I pull it right down the edge of my nose, and then I pull my buff up, and I just kind of breathe through my nose, and it works out really well for sleeping. And I sometimes wear it in the early mornings as well when it's cold, and it will be cold on this hike. Hey, I just realized, okay, I found this is my backup pair. This is my backup pair of liners from Injinji. So these are the ones I will wear in 2 days, and then alternate as we go. This is my Kuyu, I think is how it's called, fleece. This was a late addition for this hike when I started seeing temperatures get way down in the 20s, and the highs, at least the second to last day, being below 50. I decided I really needed to get some warmer layers to wear, probably with my rain gear in part, which will protect me from the wind to some extent. I'll probably be wearing that a fair amount, but these will be good insulating layers. And worst case, I'll throw my puffy on as well. Brought some tights, some long underwear as well. These are pretty well worn. They've got holes in them, but they're fairly lightweight, I think 6 ounces, and they still do a good job. For rain, I have these rain mitts that I can wear over my gloves, and they work really well. They're from OR, Outdoor Research. This is my buff. It's, I can't remember the name of the company, Turtle something, but it's in my LighterPack list. And it's a nice warm buff. I really like this buff a lot. Good uses for that. I threw in my rain pants at the last minute. I was gonna bring my wind pants, but then the rain chance for Sunday went up to like 70%. So I threw that in. Now it's back to 50%, but I'm glad I have them. I'm ready for whatever the Maah Daah Hey might throw at me. My rain jacket, both the rain pants and rain jacket are VISP, V-I-S-P from Enlightened Equipment. Super lightweight. I found them to be really good. I've been in the rain all day with them, but I have not had them wet out before. This is my electronics bag. Just remember that my thermometer's in here, so I'm gonna pull that out. Here on the Maah Daah Hey Trail, I found last year it's pretty interesting to see what the temperatures were because they would vary tremendously. So I'm gonna keep that in my shoulder pocket, one of them with my Garmin inReach, so I can just check it now and again. I found I had it dangling before, and I think my body heat was impacting it, so I want to move it off my body heat and like right into the shoulder strap, and I'm hoping that it won't be impacted by body heat too much there. I have a 20,000 milliamp Nitecore battery pack, so this is going to keep my stuff charged throughout this trip, and I'm probably going to be pretty, I'd say, careful about how much battery I use in the first couple of days just to make sure I have enough. First time out, or second time out with this. First time it did great, but I was only out for one night. So I just want to make sure that I don't run low, because I want to be able to bring you all videos and other things. So then I have a bunch of other adapters and cables here for a variety of electronics. Oh, by the way, this is a pack liner from Z-Packs that I got for this trip. It actually was over my pack when I checked my pack. And flying, you can do a whole separate video. There are whole separate videos on flying while backpacking, like flying to a hike, which is what I did today. You know, went with exactly what I'm gonna wear hiking, going out tomorrow. But this thing wraps around my backpack, and it's great because it protected all the cables and everything. And I was able to bring along my hiking poles. Last year on this trail, I shipped my hiking poles here, and they never arrived, and they eventually made their way home, which was great, but I had to go make an emergency trip to get some hiking poles before I started because I need them for my Plex Solo tent to be able to pitch it, and I also use them heavily when I hike. So that was a challenge. I also had to get water anyway, so it all worked out last year, but those were significantly heavier poles than these. I remember my elbows getting sore from just the motion with those. So I'm really happy to have my beloved poles with me on this trip. I was able to put them in this bag and just put them in check baggage. So that worked out great. There are some things like a lighter that you can only bring as a carry-on. So definitely check the TSA requirements. Also, your battery pack must be a carry-on, at least at this point. So definitely check those. I have an X-Therm from Thermarest. Neo Air X-Therm. This has a really high R value. I think the year this one came out it was 5. I just saw a 7 online. I don't know, but this thing is a furnace. It really reflects your body right back at you, which is great because these temps are going to get pretty chilly. And having a good sleeping pad is just, I think, as critical as having a good quilt itself. This is my Plex Solo tent. It's just kind of all rolled up in here. I stopped using a stuff sack this year, and it's worked fine, and maybe a little bit more flexible actually, how I can stuff it in there. So that's been good. My food, I pulled out tomorrow's food, and I already have that stuff in the bottom pocket. I'm not going to go through that right now, but the rest of my food is in here. I have 1 gallon Ziploc bags that it is sorted into to just kind of keep it straight. Saw that from Darwin and learned that from him. So on one of his videos. It's worked out really well for me to do that too. Just kind of keeps everything organized, which I like to do. I had this in an Ursack, all white I think it's called. Again, on my LighterPack list, I went through the whole thing and verified what this is. So definitely check this sack out on there. There's also an OP sack in here, which is a really durable Ziploc bag that keeps the odors from your food from emanating. So carrying that. This thing's 7 ounces on the outside. The OP sack is a lot less than that. I want to say it's maybe 2-3 ounces. But you can see that again on my list. And the thing I always pack at the bottom, last thing, being a plant-based guy, most of the time, I have tried to do the same with a lot of my gear. So this is a synthetic enlightened equipment Revelation quilt, and it's a 20 degree, and I had it last year on the Maah Daah Hey. In fact, I bought it for the Maah Daah Hey last year, and I was so glad when it got down to 27 one night. I was sleeping in this thing on that X-Therm pad, and I mean, I didn't even realize how cold it was until I started climbing out in the morning. This thing is fantastic, so really happy to have this along. I put an extra strap on it just to get an extra good connection to my X-Therm for some killer great sleeping. And yeah, good to go. This was also a late ad. Earlier on, the temperatures, the lows were not getting below 35, and I was thinking I have a 30-degree quilt from Enlightened Equipment, and maybe I would just bring that. But then they started getting close, perilously close, and I realized out here that the weather can really shift dramatically, so I decided to just play it safe. So my base weight goes higher as a result of that, but I'm really prepared for what's out there. And on this hike, I'm going to be hiking pretty much water to water, and the last day will be the biggest one at 25 miles. So that's the plan for the Maah Daah Hey. I'm super happy to be here, just very grateful. I thought about this hike all year pretty much after I left this trail last year, and I've just been stoked to get back out here. So this is what I'm taking. I hope this is helpful to any of you who might be considering the Maah Daah Hey Trail. It's a great hike. I can't speak highly enough about how awesome it is to be out here. It's just very sensory. You're in the Badlands, you have all these views, but you also have wind, and you have cold, and you have heat, and you have dust, and you just have all these things going on. It's really, it just sucks you into the moment. It's just a really incredible experience being out here. That's my pack and everything in my pack. You know, on the back here, I have my bungee. I'm just looking at that right now. And if I need to dry things out in the morning, I'll often just stick it in these bungees, and that really helps as well. So that's another good feature of the pack. By the way, this last thing, this Z-Packs bag, it's really cool because you fly with it on the outside, and then you can put it in as a pack liner on the inside of your pack. So I just didn't have a pack liner in here to fly, just threw a bunch of things in. But now I can use it on the inside. So credit to Z-Packs for coming up with a really innovative concept. And I looked around for these. I didn't see anybody else with anything like this. And I got an extra large one just to make sure everything would fit. And I'm delighted with it. So it does weigh 4 ounces. I could cut an ounce or two. I usually just use a garbage bag, but for this purpose, this thing made a lot of sense. So definitely check that out if you're flying to a through hike somewhere. Because I'm cold soaking, I didn't have to worry about fuel for a stove or anything like that. All right, I've talked enough. I will not be talking much on the upcoming videos. I'm going to try to just make those sensory for everybody. I'll give a little intro and some updates now and again, but I really want to help you experience the magic of the Maah Daah Hey Trail. Thanks again for watching, and hope to see you out there soon.